I'm trying to get the tag off of something here.
Do you want some help?
No, I'm playing with it. It's just something.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning on Sunday, January 17th.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Look what
Neither
I got.
one of us have on.
Look what I
well,
got.
you do have on green.
And I have green underwear on too. You want to see?
Mikey forgot to wash them.
No, they're actually. Hold on just a minute. See? They're actually. No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. You have you pulled up the bottom.
I pulled up my bottom part of my underwear. No wonder it's giving myself a wedgie. Oh my God! No wonder now it's going to take forever.
I have on a green hat.
You have a green hat on. That works. Everybody's
I did put on my monk sweatshirt, and I went, oh, it's red.
Oh, okay.
Oh well.
Oh well.
I don't have a green sweatshirt.
These came from Dollar. Well, these
are repurposed.
Right.
These are from last year, so
Right.
we're not continually
This wasn't
buying.
intentional for St. Patrick's Day. It was because it was Aruba, and I love my little fishies.
Yeah, they're cute fishies.
Little fishies from Aruba.
From Aruba.
So yeah, today is St. Patrick's Day. Did you know that it was first known as the Feast of St. Patrick? He arrives in Ireland in the year of 432. This is a history lesson, so you got to put up with this for a few seconds. As a missionary, you knit.
I'm going to knit.
And then in 461, he dies on 3/17 on the day he arrived.
Oh,
okay?
Well, that sucks.
Many years ago. But the first St. Patrick's Day parade in New York City was in 1762. How do you like that? And in 1995, the Irish government launches St. Patrick's Festival in Dublin. It's quite a festival, guys. If you ever get a chance,
have you ever been there for it?
No, not for it, but I've seen pictures of it. And it's really, really kind of fun. No, it's just because of the hat. I have a little collar. You guys can't tell. I was in the sun.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. I think it's more here. You can see it. See, there you can see it more. I sat out on my balcony because around the west, we face the west in the afternoon. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to go upstairs and let everybody see the flab. So I could just sit right on my balcony. And so then the second day, I thought, I don't even need to put my suit on. I just took my shirt off and I'm sitting out there in my thing. And I was just as covered as if I had my suit on. Yeah. So it worked. And the shamrock was used to explain the Holy Trinity, which I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. The harp is used to express.
So then why is a 4-leaf clover considered lucky?
Because
if the 3-leaf is the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Because that's common. The fourth one, you can't find them. And only the leprechauns can find them. And a leprechaun is the mischievous fairy from Irish folklore who's said to have hid the pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. Yeah. And the little fairies, they would mess things up. And actually, corned beef and cabbage is a substitute for Irish bacon.
Yeah.
That's what they used over there for the longest time. And it was adopted from the Jewish neighborhoods from New York. It was stolen from them. Because the Jewish
Wow, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I know. Chicago Dicer River Green started in 1955. St. Patrick was a Roman who was a citizen in Britain and then was enslaved and sent to Ireland. Yep. And it began as a Catholic feast day. And the shamrock was used, like I said, to teach Christianity. And green became associated with the day back in 1641. So it's been all these hundreds of years because of a great Irish rebellion. How do you like that?
Well,
and the first U.S.
I happen to like St. Patty's Day. I've always liked St. Patty's Day.
Well, you like Irish whiskey.
I like Irish whiskey.
You like corned beef.
I like corned beef. And my birthday's in March.
And it's coming up.
So
it's a week away. Isn't it?
So
25.
Yeah.
Marcia's 23, right? Or 27. Marcia's is coming up too from
and hers
Felted Garden.
Hers is a a stepping stone birthday this year.
It's got a new number.
It does.
Oh,
And it also has it's divisible
by 20?
by 25.
25. Is she going to be 75? Oh, Marsha. It's a big one.
I'm 29 and holding, so.
Oh,
no, I'll be
my
53.
word.
I'll be 53.
I'll be 71.
You guys were around when I turned 50, so.
So who do we have? Karen,
Diane,
and
Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. It's nice to see you from California. Still hanging in up there?
Oh, excuse me.
Are the worlds of those Pineapple Express rivers slowing down there?
Jamie said, when my husband's down in Houston right now, and it has rained the entire time he's been there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We heard about a lot of it because they put it on. The BBC was so amazed about this weather in the United States and how vicious it seemed to be, but it wasn't lasting. And they were making comments about how, it comes, it's winter, it gets cold. And even Minnesota was up into the 60s, 50s and 60s. And it's unheard of.
Yeah.
And they were making comments about that on the BBC because we had the BBC on this ship. The BBC is pretty cool because
I kind of like the BBC.
What's really great is you learn more about what's going on in the United States
through the BBC
because they hit the high points. Bam, 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 bam. You don't have to listen.
It's kind of a Walter Cronkite sort of.
Exactly.
It's just give me the freaking news.
That's and then they go and they pick on their own government, and then you turn it off.
Yeah.
And you go to Fox or CNN and you hear the bam, bam, bam about what's going on in the world. And then you turn it all off because you don't care what's going on anyplace.
I don't care for their right or left sided views of the political bullshit that
we're facing.
Always gets skewed no matter which.
I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
It's crap.
So
your trip was fun.
We had a good time. This one.
You didn't kill your sister.
Almost. We did have a big argument at one night. She couldn't get in the room.
Her
key didn't work. I forgot my key. It was the last day. This was the Saturday, which is an anxious day anyway because you got to pack.
Everything's
make sure you got to put it in your suitcase. So you got to get it out. You want to say goodbye to people, leave tips.
Yeah.
Get stuff done, but you still want to have your free time to do what you're doing.
Right.
So it's a bit of a anxiety-riven sort of stuff. And so I left my key in the room after I packed the big suitcase. I went down to guest services.
Not on purpose, right?
I just forgot it.
Right.
And normally I don't because on Celebrity, it's right by the door. They have two hooks right by the door and you just walk out the door and grab it. So you rip. Right. And it was a 9-day cruise. So I was doing pretty good the last day.
Considering it was only
one day. And so I went downstairs. I went to the casino. I didn't see her. She might have been smoking. I wasn't going to go someplace else. So I went down to guest services and got a new one.
Right.
Well, I guess when she came back, her key didn't work.
Oh, okay.
So
they reset her key too because...
Oh, wait, it gets even better. So she was having a shit fit in the hall.
Oh, my God.
And somebody reported her to security.
Of course.
Because she was swearing and trying to get into this room. They didn't ask if there was anything they could do to help or to tell her, hey, your key's not working. The first thing you do is go down to guest services and get a new one. No. She's standing there doing this at the door, being pissing and moaning because she wants to get in there. She remembered she had to do something. She knew to forget.
Cussing it out.
In the meantime, security walks her to the hideaway area and calms her down a little bit. Then he goes back to the room with her. He was going to open the door and she's showing him that it doesn't work. He opens the door and I'm sitting in the room. Well, I only got there.
Right.
She thought I was down in the cafe because she went looking for me. I wasn't there. That pissed her off too. So she's like, I'm done with Celebrity. I can't believe this fucking shit. I'm like, Gail, every time the key doesn't work, you have to go get a new one. I don't need you telling me what to do, blah, blah, blah. So I went and sat down, put my earbuds back in, and she asks me a question, And I'm like,
And you didn't
and I
answer
didn't
'cause-
answer. And I went, what? And she goes, of course you're not paying any attention to me. Why would you pay any attention to me? So I let loose because I was like, oh my God, now we're on some list of being banned from somewhere. And I said, what is this shit with you and this passive aggressive bullshit? I'm tired of it. Just say what you mean. You didn't, I mean, come on, give me a break here. What am I supposed to do? So back and forth on that. She's like, well, you only have to put up with me for 2 more cruises. Well, I don't have to put up with you at all. I'm going to cancel them both. Okay, fine. You go ahead and do that. She storms out the room, and this is about dinner time, too. So then
I'm sorry. It's funny.
So then I gathered up my envelopes to give to our waiters and stuff because and I figured she was going to dinner. So I didn't stay for dinner. I went upstairs to the buffet for dinner.
Right.
Because I found out all week long I wanted them to have nachos. And usually they had nachos at lunch. They had them every night at dinner in the buffet. I love nachos. And you can make the best. They use fajita meat and make the best nachos. So long story short, by the time I got back, she was sleeping.
Of course.
And then I did something. I knocked something over and she got mad, but then she didn't say anything. And we both got our luggage out. We got up in the morning. We were just both kind of separate in the morning. And then we ran into the guy. His name's King. Amazing guy from Jamaica. He was on our back-to-back cruise when we were in Scandinavia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's a sommelier.
Yeah.
The-
He's
the
the wine
wine-
guy. He's
the
the
wine
wine
guy.
guy. Yeah.
And he has a son. And we got him a charger when we went into Copenhagen because he needed one. And then
Okay.
he was like, here, let me pay you for this. And I'm like, no, come on, here. And we
You're like, I
actually-
got it at the dollar store. I'm
did.
I know you, Deb. I know you.
did. They actually had it. It's the only place they had it. We went into 3 stores. I was going to head to the Apple store, but I remembered then because they did have one. And I remembered then at that point that he said he had an Android phone. So I'm thinking, well, they won't have what he needs.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't have that at the Apple
So
store.
anyhow, he still uses it. And he came over and I was so happy to see him that it was King Man. He was the best. So yeah, he came over and he goes, you two are mad at each other. Don't be mad at each other. You're sisters. And he went into this whole big thing about his mother. He's one of 9 children.
Right.
And he only has one son with his girlfriend. And his mother's always mad at him because he hasn't married her yet. He goes, well, I'm never home. He said, it's not fair. She goes, well, you have a child.
She's got a point.
She does have a point.
She's got a point.
She does have a point. So,
But
anyway, he was on the trip and it was so fun. That and Dawn, if you're watching us, and you guys all know we took my boob bag, right? On the solstice.
which Dawn gave you
Which
on
Dawn gave me
on the solstice.
because I'm always talking about these 42 long things, these nasty things. Anyway, the crew member, one of the actual crew,
Yeah.
not just a server type person, but I mean an officer person goes, oh my gosh, there she is.
Right.
She remembered the bag from the solstice and now she was on the reflection. And that bag is known throughout the celebrity crew, officers crew.
Yeah, because of the
Because
bag.
of the bag. Not me.
No.
If someone else was carrying that bag, they would have just assumed that they had been on the solstice.
Yeah.
But it's a big thing. Everybody knows this boob bag. So there you have it.
But it is the best boob bag
It
ever.
is the best boob bag ever. It's got all these different sizes, styles, everything else.
Perky.
Perky, saggy,
Yeah.
little,
Wrinkly.
rolling, quilting.
This
And
is
then-
the truth. It's the best bag ever.
Yeah. And then I took it to dinner one night and I don't know, somehow we got on Peyronie's disease. Oh, I know what it was. We had carrots, baked carrots.
Okay.
And
And did
they
you have one of
stack
them that was bent?
On the top of her dish, there was a carrot salad. On the top was one carrot that went like this, just like in the commercial.
Yeah.
And we were all cracking up talking about Peyronie's disease. and they didn't know about it because it's not a commercial they see all
Right.
that often.
Well, and only in America do we have to have a fucking
That's
pill
exactly-
for fucking everything.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Are your eyelashes too brown? We've got a pill for that.
Exactly. Because in the morning I would take all my clump of pills and put them out, and all the crew would like be looking at it going, "You take those every day?" And I said, "Oh, this is just not half of it." I said, "Only 4 of them are prescribed. The other ones are the stupid supplements my husband decides to give me." So anyway, Maggie.
Hi, Megs.
Hi, Mags. What's up?
I will get to my whips.
Yeah, we'll get to that because I did do a lot of knitting. This, ta-da!
Yeah.
Happened on Wednesday. I turned the phone on Aruba on last Tuesday, talked to Mikey, had a great day. Aruba's beautiful, by the way. The water is amazing. Small island, but really, really nice. And they can hold like 3 cruise ships together because there were 3 cruise ships, and it wasn't even a really crowded downtown.
Cool.
So they do a really good job.
Cool.
And so I turned the phone, talked to Mikey. I said, "Look, we're in Bon Air tomorrow. I probably won't have anything new to tell you unless I'm mad at my sister. So I won't turn the phone on tomorrow."
Right.
Because it's a $10 charge. And I said, I can use that $10 to buy stuff. So I didn't turn it on. And sure enough, who calls me but the doctor's office and leaves a phone message?
Right. Of course, the doctor's office calls.
Yeah. So I didn't turn it on in Curacao until later in the afternoon, until after we did our tour around Curacao. And out of the 3 islands, Curacao is the more developed. They have the bigger bridges, more Danish, more
just more.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a little more today type. Bon Air is very much its island feel and the beach. Oh my God, the water there. Oh, it is such a beautiful turquoise. Oh, I wanted to just get yarn and make something that color. It was beautiful. With the sand was this pretty tan color. Oh, it was gorgeous there. That was my favorite island, actually. So, and I have funny stories about that one too. But anyway, and then of course I had to try and get a hold of the hospital because they wanted to pre-register me. And then I had to get a hold of the doctor's office to tell them, okie dokie, I'll be there on Wednesday.
Right.
And what else do I need to do? And then the hospital was all worried because you're supposed to stop some of this stuff like 2 weeks before. Well, I didn't know about it 2 weeks before.
Right.
So they're all like, we're okay. And my anesthesiologist actually had a personality. I even asked him after he gave me sedation if he was real. I said, you really have a nice personality. Are you sure you're an anesthesiologist?
Yeah, are you sure you're not just AI? You're just a figment.
Did you stay at a Holiday Inn last night? Was that it? Are you doing this though? But it was really fun. So anyway, they did the carpal tunnel. Ta-da! So I'm locutus of Borg until Wednesday, and they moved this nerve back over to where it belonged.
Right.
It flips when you sometimes with carpal tunnel, but my thumb seems to be okay. He looked underneath there, and so that won't need to be done. He said probably for a long time. So that's why I have this here now. So I'm not doing much knitting, but I did figure out if I hold it like this, I can do a little.
She can
bit.
still do a little,
but if I
don't.
I'm not planning to do a lot. But if I put it on a pillow, I can leave my arm like this. Then it's not dependent. So
okay, well,
all right. Now,
so
I did do knitting.
Okay, while you were cruising.
While I was cruising, I did do knitting. I had stopped at Yarn Market in West Clay because I knew she had Malabrigo.
Yarn Market is our new yarn store here
in West Clay in Carmel.
In northern Indianapolis.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's above. Anyway, it's called Stormy Waters. Looks like this by Elena Nodell.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like this. Okay. And it's done in Rios. And I didn't get too far. I've only gotten this far on it, see. But it's really kind of cute. It's got a nice pattern. on it. So I think it'll be fun. Knits and
Yeah.
pearls, nothing too major there. And remember when I told you guys I was going to start my socks?
Yes. The
So-
last time she was here, she said she was going to start socks
So,
on her cruisy trips because they're little and you can tote them around.
and it fits right here in this bag, right like this.
Yeah.
Doesn't
And
take up a lot
you
of
can
room.
bring 3 pairs of socks and it doesn't take
Take
up
up a lot-
any room.
No, it really
And you
doesn't.
can do different patterns and different stripies and you have different projects.
Right. So
Yeah,
I
and
used
they're all
this
little.
pattern called Easy Peasy Socks. That's the
So-
one I finally ended up
Sounds good to me.
with. Okay. And I didn't bring one of my little needles. So this was all done with flexi flips. And how she does it, look at that. I had to start over 3 different times because to me it was in my head, it was a sock. So I just kept saying, it's funny, King came over to see if I needed a new drink, an actual drink, because I kept going, it's a mitten. It's a
It's
mitten.
just a mitten. It's
mitten.
just a mitten. It's
So I could
just
get
a
through
mitten.
the beginning of it. It's just a mitten. So this is the heel flap. And she has you put pins where you do the decreases
to
so
keep
that
the
you know
stitch where to pick it up.
where you pick it up when you do the increases.
Okay.
So guess what? See this? This is all done with one flexi flip, set of flexi flips. And I did 2. I'm
So
already
you're on the
for
heel
second
flap
Uh-huh.
of both
of both
the
socks.
of both socks.
And they're not too big. They go about this far above my heel, just a little bit.
Yeah.
This is like right. Yeah, they're a little bit
Look
short.
at these guys. These are so cute.
Aren't they cute?
Nice.
And nobody believes they fit my foot. So I
Did
took
you
it off.
carry this yarn up or
I
was
did. I did carry it.
This is actually the yarn. She didn't add those stripes.
I didn't add those stripes in. They did.
This
This
is it a box?
rainbow. It's Brenda and Heather.
box.
This is
Yeah.
their last rainbow yarn. So Brenda and Heather, I'm doing your socks, and I told everybody about it.
Yay.
And they were like, she looked at the one girl came over and she was so excited. She said, I've heard of their striping, but she's never ordered from them. And I said, oh, order.
Oh, you definitely need to order
And then
from
when
them.
she saw this, she said, oh my God, there's a fade inside
Yeah.
the color and then black. I don't know if you guys can see it really well, but look here in the blue, you can't see it all that great, but this is a black and
You
then a
can see
darker
it.
blue.
You can see it. Look.
And then look, there's a little bit
There's
of a fade
inside
inside.
the stripe.
And
They're ridiculous.
It's just the stripe, just one little stripe. It doesn't even, you know.
one little strand of yarn.
Yeah, that's all. It's amazing.
They're cray cray.
Oh, I'm not
I
kidding.
love them to death, but they are cray cray.
And people that were watching me do this were more amazed with the yarn than the sock part because they just
Well,
couldn't
yeah.
believe. And then one day,
Because people don't understand.
right, they didn't get it. Yeah.
People, non-knitters don't get it.
And the one lady kept looking at this and she goes, if I promise to roll this back into a ball, can I unroll it?
No.
And I said, no.
No. No, you cannot.
And she goes, well, what cruise are you on next? And I said, well, we're going to Bermuda. She said, okay, I'll see you then. And I said, wait, I said, seriously? She goes, well, all I need is a reason. So she told her husband, they're going to go, they went downstairs and I ran into her on the day, literally ran into her. I bumped into her in the terminal and she goes, I'll see you in May.
Perfect.
Because she wants to see my sock. Well, I didn't have heart to tell her I may not get there, so I might have to hand them to Marcia to finish or something.
Colleen.
Or
Well,
Colleen.
Colleen's summer.
Yeah,
She was-
Marcia's, Summer, she's rowing now.
Just ship them up to Leah.
To Leah. Leah, I may be sending you my socks to get them done in a day so that I can get them back so that lady can see them in Bermuda. And I can't believe, we'll see.
Well,
Her name was Elaine, and I think her husband's name was George, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. She kept talking about a guy named George, but I wasn't sure if that was her
and they're
grandson.
not George of the Jungle.
No, I don't know if that was George because she would always call him Honey. And they introduced themselves. Cutest little couple you'd ever seen. She was about like this big, and he was about like that big. And a little chunky round with typical grandma and grandpa faces. just the nicest people. And every time you saw her, she was putting a butterscotch in her mouth. Just perfect.
Like a Werther's original.
Yeah, like a Werther's original. So I did do that. And even though Sue suggested I don't take this with because it's big, but I did take it with.
Okay.
And I only worked it on the plane. And this is the first time you're
So
going
and
to
then
see it.
you toted it around with you the whole rest of the time.
No, it went back in the bag because I knew I wasn't going to work on it on the ship. I was on the ridges, which is all knit and pearl. So I figured that'd be easier for the plane because then you don't need to keep all the instructions and everything out.
Yeah.
So anyway, remember I told you I was doing this Stephen West glittering snowscape, and I hadn't gotten very far before I left. Well,
Right.
I actually did. I was down here in the pink, but I wanted to have another color on it. So ladies and gentlemen, here is my glittering snowscape
With a new color added.
with another color. Look
Go
at that
up.
architectural work.
Yeah, that's
Is that
Stephen for you, but go
that's
up so we
Stephen
can
West.
see this. Look at this.
Isn't that amazing?
Cool. Fun
It
stuff.
Turned out incredible. I am so, and Marcia was like, how does he think of all of this stuff? You know, that he comes up with this. The mind, I just don't know. I'm telling you. So this is where I'm at with Stephen West. And you probably won't see it again for a while.
Yeah, because
I can't
it's
do
coming
anything.
into summer. You can't do anything for
Right.
8 weeks, and then she's cruising.
Yeah. And I have Mikey.
And you have Mikey.
So I can't do anything too technical because I have to hide. Because he drives me crazy. And the one other thing I did do on the bus, because I always do this on the bus, is my Musselburgh. And I didn't finish it off. I'm keeping. See what I'm doing, guys? Look, I'm going to do the whole Musselburgh, not just. Did you know she rewrote the pattern?
I saw that.
It's 3.0 and it is great.
I haven't
Print it out if you have it.
I haven't looked at it yet,
Oh,
but I did see that
she really just totally
sent out a new thing.
Yeah, she really kind of rewrote it and made it so that it can be a little misunderstanding when you're kind of getting the sizes and the gauges when you're
From
new.
the 2.0 version.
Yeah, when you're new to knitting, and then it says it's got all these 7.58 things and how many stitches, and if you're not used to the gauge situation,
so she made it more user friendly,
much user friendly.
And I didn't think it was that bad to begin with.
I didn't either. You know, if I can understand it, anybody can get it. I'm telling you. What I like about it is I didn't have to do the gauge first. I got the gauge afterwards. And my mitt and my socks, I got the gauge because I did the swatch, and it's a little tight over the heel. I tightened up on my thing. Look what I did, guys. I'm doing like I would do a muscle. Here, see? I'm just about there.
You're doing a rib in the middle of
middle of the muscle, so that when you turn it,
you'll have a ribbed bottom.
A ribbed bottom for the other hat, the other side of the hat. One side will look like this, and the other side will look like a regular hat. I thought, what the heck, is that not fun?
That is fun.
That's a fun idea.
It is a fun idea. I may have to do that on my next Musselburgh. Yeah. Maybe.
You get two
because
separate.
I just wove in my end on this one. Literally, while I was sitting here listening to her, I wove in my end on this one. I was gonna have it done this morning, but I didn't quite get there.
Oh, I love it.
Ta-da! So, and I sewed on the snap before, well, actually I had started the decrease, and then I went, I should do the snap on now before I can't get into it. Yeah. Yeah,
because otherwise you're like down here and you're going, all right, now how am I gonna get this all rolled up? Looky. I love it.
Okay, so I thought this was really super long. I don't think it's that long.
No, it isn't. Is that cute or what, guys?
I mean, it's a super big rollover.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong; it's a really big rollover.
Yeah.
And this is a snappy pom pom.
Oh, is that cute and warm because they're double.
Yeah.
So that's
So I got
really,
4
and they're like
layers
triple.
over my ears.
You could go to well, not anymore. Minnesota's 60 degrees. So
But tomorrow it's going to be 20 here.
Okay,
I can wear it tomorrow.
You can wear it tomorrow. Look at that.
To work.
And then when she doesn't want it to be a pom-pom hat,
yeah,
all she has
all
to
I
do,
have to do is take off the pom-pom. Oh my God. Did I?
Electricity here. Well, it's fuzzier.
Okay,
now.
so I can flip it around, put the snap on the inside, and then there isn't a snap showing.
Right.
This is why I only put it on one side.
Perfect idea for a pom-pom hat when you want a pom-pom hat.
And then I can just have
and when you just want a regular hat.
without the pom-pom and without the thing showing on the top.
Because like on a really windy day, you may not want the pom-pom blowing around.
Right.
Or rainy day or whatever. You just may not want the pom-pom. But this is so perfect.
Okay, so this was 2 skeins of, hang on.
I got it in Norway. I mean in Copenhagen.
Leonora. It was 2 skeins of that. That was the pink.
And 1 skein.
And 1 skein of white cream, whatever. Was it this? No, that wasn't that.
Whoop. Got to figure out which one it was.
I don't know what the white was, but it was
very
similar yarn.
Yeah.
May have been the same. You may have gotten me all of them.
Maybe I did.
I don't know.
I got you the pink because I saw it and I thought it would be soft enough that you could wear.
Yeah.
You know, because
so
we're always looking for
so of the
soft.
3 skeins, this is what I have left.
Very good.
This is like almost lace weight.
Yeah.
With some fluff to it, right?
Yeah.
So they actually suggest to use a size 3, even though it's kind of like a heavy lace weight. I did use a 3, and I don't think it would be any good going up any higher.
I'm gonna write this down with my Pluto pen.
This is by, oh my God, goodness. That was a little scary. That's very long. So let me tell you what the inches are on that. If you want that big of a rollover on your Musselburgh. Good grief, I don't have
See, look, I wrote it down in big letters. Look, I wrote it down. Ta-da! She finished it. Pink.
So if you want that big of a rollover on a Musselburgh, I don't have a pulley outie, but I have this kind.
Well, at one point you were going to go longer to turn it into like a cowl. Weren't you?
I don't know what I was thinking at one point in time.
Because you had thought maybe it would be.
This is 25 inches. From the beginning, from your cast on to where you start your decrease.
Well, here, guys, check this out. I could wear it as
it could be a tube top. You can make it a tube top. You could definitely wear it as a cowl. If
you could put it
snap
underneath.
it.
You could snap it.
Put another snap on the
other
side.
side.
Snap it together.
You could put a little magnet under there or something, hide it in there or something like that.
Or one of the magnetic shawl cuffs.
Yeah, you could do that.
That would be cute with the pom-pom
But it
right
would
there.
be cute right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Pretty cool done.
Okay, so a freaking finished project right in front of you guys.
Is that not? It's not a work in progress. It's done.
Yep.
You know?
It's a done. I wasn't sure I was going to get it done. I didn't realize that it was that little that I had to go. But remember last week, you guys, I had the color work that I said I was going to frog, and I started frogging it, and I got down to the ribbing, and I went, well, I don't need to frog the ribbing.
No.
So I didn't. I picked up the stitches, and now I'll just do a vanilla hat. because I had a bunch of color work that
Right.
I didn't like the color work. I showed you guys last week. So this is my next hat.
I
That
saw
will go in my hat project bag, and it'll just be a vanilla hat because the yarn is really cool. And I think it'll make fun stripes.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah. Nice.
So I'll just make it a vanilla beanie.
Beanie kind of hat type thing.
And we'll call it good.
Call it for a day. There it is.
Yeah. So
that
an
works.
FO and a new whip and a frog.
All in one day. Oh my God. And then she says she's not very productive.
I don't feel like I am very productive, but I did put out a new color in rings.
You did?
I did in the shop.
I didn't know that.
I forgot. And
Actually,
it's called Spring in the Black Hills.
she's getting really creative with these names, you guys. I'm telling you.
I had help with this one because Carly said, well, it reminds me of the Black Hills.
Oh,
because it's rose gold.
Cute.
It's rose gold rings. I'm putting this back on because my hair is super static and fly away.
Okay.
So they're rose gold rings.
Are you making corned beef tonight?
I have corned beef.
Oh.
I was gonna wait till Jamie came home.
Okay. You can celebrate with him.
So they're rose gold rings and the palest of pale green bead.
I shared some of the purple ones to the ladies. On
Oh,
the
good.
show.
Good. Yeah, so those lavender fields or something.
Yeah, the one purpley ones that
I
we
think
did.
they're called lavender fields or something, lavender dream or something like that. But these ones,
Perfect.
I love the color.
I do too.
I love the color
I
combination.
like rose gold anyway. I think rose gold.
Yeah, I
is
think there
really
might be
nice.
several different colors in that ring.
Yeah, that might be a good thing. to
My ring
consider.
supplier finally came
Look
up
out.
with new
She's got a supplier.
colors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Neat.
I bought all the new colors. Of course I bought all the
86 colors.
Of course I bought all the new colors. I never know.
Mm-hmm.
I never know if an old color is going to go too. So as soon as if I get low, I'm like, oh, nope, got to buy some.
Yeah.
Because I don't make the rings, guys. I put the bead on and glue the bead over it.
So,
Yeah.
when we were in, ooh, look, I'm bruised.
Yes, you are.
Ooh, I'm bruised.
Stop banging yourself.
No, I think that's left over.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be for a
It's gonna
while.
be for a while.
I doubt you want to see what your arm looks like.
Oh, no, I'm not anticipating that at all. The
Wednesday?
thing is, I know the incisions are about like this big. They're not,
Yeah, no.
yeah, but yet
they're
look what we
maneuvering
have.
muscles and tendons and nerves and all that. And that's
Right.
what bruises you anyway. So.
right. And that's the whole thing. And then when we got home on Wednesday, I fell back to sleep and I had a block. He put the block in, the nerve block. Woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and woke me up about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I took a pain med when I fell asleep about 10. And so that had worn off.
Right.
So, of course, I had to go to the bathroom.
Of course.
And it wasn't number one.
No, of course not. I was just going to say it can't be just an easy wipe.
And in the first, until the block wears off, you're in a swing because otherwise you're just dragging this thing. And you don't realize how heavy it is.
Right.
When on a normal day-to-day basis, because you move all the time and you don't realize. But this fucker is really heavy.
Yeah.
And when it's dead, it just kind of flops there. And I had it like this, and I'm trying to, it wasn't a pretty sight. So Mikey didn't understand why I had the pad on the bed, on the couch, because I got the slip pad. It's a lift pad that you put underneath that we had in the hospital. And he goes, doesn't that make you hot? And I said, yeah, but I had an accident. And he goes, well, why didn't you call me? I said, I didn't have time. I had to go now. And the thing is that here you are going one-handed.
Trying to get your pants down.
Yeah. And normally I don't have any trouble, but these underwear, of course, I picked the one pair of underwear that fits. Okay, that stays in place. Most of my underwear just falls off as I kind of get there. It's down around my, no. This was the pair that fit. I was so pissed. And then yesterday, when I took a shower, the bag up to here.
Yeah.
He wants to use a garbage bag. Okay, so he takes one of those kitchen garbage bags and he pulls it all the way up to here, and he's taping it around my body.
Good Lord.
I know. I just put 2 plastic bags together, cut out the bottom of a Glad bag and another Glad bag, and said, here, this is what we're going to use. It's going to get wet. I'm like, no, it's not. It didn't get wet. Just this part got wet up here, just right here. This got wet.
Big deal.
Yeah, that was just
It's only on until Wednesday anyway.
Yeah, it'll be on to Wednesday anyway. So, and then on
Just sponge
Friday,
bath until then. Just sponge bath until then.
actually, it's not too bad. Except he actually walked over with duct tape.
No.
I
What
swear-
the flying flock of birds?
I swear to God, he walked over with duct tape to put
Tell
it
him
around.
next time you're just coming over here and you're going to soak in the tub.
I know.
You're just not going to take a shower. I'm just going to get in the tub and I don't need to do anything to it because I
can
need
leave it
my
like that.
skin left afterwards.
Yeah, he walked over with duct tape.
What the fuck?
I'm like, no. I mean, painter's tape would have been better. And he was,
Oh my God.
I could not believe he had the duct tape in his hands. And so I handed him different tape. And he's like, is this going to work? And I said, yeah, it's plastic. It'll work. It's fine. And I know what I'm doing.
Oh
I've been
my
a
God.
nurse. So anyway.
Oh my God. I can't believe he did duct tape.
Yeah.
He brought duct tape.
Met the coolest gentleman in Bon Air. He was we took a open air kind of a trolley, I guess they called it,
Sure.
type thing, in Bon Air tour. They had to come up with things like, here's the water field that sometimes floods when we get an inch of rain. If we get an inch of rain. This is a
But
tree.
it's not. It's just a field right now.
Yeah, this is a tree that will grow and it blooms once a year. Here we have an old house. I mean, because Bon Air is very small and they don't have a lot of stuff there. I could have spent all day just driving past the beach. It was the most incredible. But he was asking me questions about, and no letters. I'm not saying anything bad. This is not anything bad. He didn't understand LGBTQ plus ABC. He didn't get it. He said in Bon Air, they're just people.
Right.
He said they're just people.
Right.
And then he said, since we were talking, he wanted to know about they and them. And he didn't understand the pronoun situation.
You know what? He
what
has
it means.
very valid questions.
He did, very valid. Because the last cruise, there were 2 ladies on there, and he said it had rained, and they had a puddle right where they stopped the trolley. And he said, he went over and he said, let me help you ladies down. And the one lady said, she is not a lady, she is a they. And she stormed off. And the other person didn't say anything, but sort of glared at him, and he didn't understand. I mean, he's read
As
about
well,
it.
he shouldn't understand. I mean,
but he didn't get it.
It doesn't. It's not. English language is hard enough as it is.
Yes.
For
a foreigner to
a
try and
foreigner
figure
to
out
be
all this
using
stuff.
English language,
Right.
it's hard enough as it is. We do not need to make it any more freaking difficult.
Right.
They and them is in traditional English language is
As a group.
referencing multiple people.
Exactly. Not a person.
Not one person.
Exactly.
So to a foreigner, I completely understand
Exactly.
his question.
Totally.
Completely
He says
understand.
he has enough trouble, no offense again, with women who dress more masculine type. He said there are times because people are flat chested and it was really cute. He was like, and some women are not of the, how did he put it, greatness in
endowed in the upper
I think
regions.
he called it greatness. I think he referred
What a
it as
sweet man.
greatness toys. is what he
Oh.
was referring to.
Oh, okay. So what?
I didn't kind of understand it, but Gail got the great toys.
Okay.
So
yeah.
they were flat chested and they had on pants and a shirt, and wearing the short cuts, sometimes you can't. And he just said, I don't understand theirs. They were big with the slave trade down there. They actually put a statue up with a bird's land of one of their guys, one of their governors,
one of the
who
slave
was
owners.
really big. That was one of the slave guys who they threw out of office when they got rid of the slave trade, and the bird shit all over him. That's what his purpose is.
His purpose is now a bird sanctuary.
And he says he drives by him every day and gives him the bird because his family was brought there from South Africa.
Yeah.
And so he has South African, but he's Danish now as well because they're part of the Netherlands. And talk about a hard language. And they have their own dashi.
Dashi is their language.
No, Pamamanetto. Papi Manetto is theirs. But dashi means love. Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse you.
Excuse me. Hello. Gesundheit. You know, that's what but, and the bus driver was trying to teach us words and we all forgot them by the time she gave us the quiz on the way back. But
yeah,
she goes, I'm not sure I can let you out of the bus until you get to learn this stuff. She was cute. She was real fun. Yeah, they were really nice people. And they live on everything's imported. People have their own gardens and they do water. They do reverse osmosis. They get their drinking water by reverse
Which island was this?
Bonaire, Aruba, and Curacao all do. Aruba does desalination, and they do.
I think I have sent ROs to all three of those.
I bet you have.
Probably.
Yeah. And everything's brought in. We were closest to Venezuela in Aruba. They're like 15 miles away.
We don't do desalination.
No. My company. No. But it's one of the ways to use it and for an island and reverse osmosis. So they did. If you get a chance, I would, out of the three, if I were to go back, I would pick Bonaire. Okay. I loved it. I thought it was small. It was more quaint. It was friendlier. There were more grocery stores. Mm-hmm. So, and they eat a lot of goat, which is okay. Yeah. I like goat.
Goat is fine.
And they get their meat, the three grocery stores, the bigger grocery stores, only buy their meat from Texas. And our cruise ship actually brought down a whole delivery to them from Texas, even though we came out of Fort Lauderdale. It must have been flown in or whatever, but they get their meat from they get a lot of their stuff brought in from the cruise ships as well. So it's not just
cool.
Yeah, which is really neat. So we serve more purpose than just tourism. See, we deliver stuff too.
We deliver stuff too.
Yeah.
We're like the postal service.
Yeah, there we go. The seas. There we have it. So anyway,
I would venture to guess they eat a lot of seafood as well.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
We had a fresh fish, and I don't know exactly what the name was. I can't pronounce it, but it's a local fish down there, and it was so good. It was flaky and light, and they cook it in this sauce with flowers because they use the floral stuff. Curacao was the most colorful because they get the most rain.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of bougainvillea. Bougainvillea. Oh, it's beautiful. And it was March, and she said this is their time. And the pinks and the yellows, you looked up on the one hill. When we got down to the bottom hill, she goes, okay, now we're going to stop. And I want everybody to walk to the other windows and look up. And it was just this whole big array of color. It was beautiful. It was really neat. So
that would be cool.
Anyway, it was fun. It was good. Next one's Bermuda in May, and I'm taking Mikey. So that
you're taking Mikey?
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Is your sister going?
No.
So it's just you and my team.
No, because she wants to do her planting.
Yeah.
If her hip is healed.
Speaking of planting, I have a few plants started.
Really?
I have some peas down here.
Oh, I'm going to go step on them.
Mm-hmm.
They like their peas down there. Again, they must grow in that kind of soil.
I have my little pea shoot started.
Oh.
And I have some Swiss chard started.
Oh, Swiss chard I like. I don't like peas.
I have some garlic and some ginger started over on the counter.
Nice.
And speaking of which, Deb and I were kind of chatting beforehand that we're probably going to go to
Maybe every other week.
probably every other week because it gets a little.
I think you're getting a little tired of looking at us.
Well, and like in the spring and summer, our knitting time goes down, and especially with your arm now too.
I won't be doing much until May.
Right. And then in May, she takes off on a
I
boat.
travel, and then I'm home for 2 weeks, and then I'm going again for a 12-day, then a 9-day.
Yeah. So she's not going to be around much.
So I won't be here much in the summer.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be.
It's
we
going to
need
be
to
very
do-
sporadic. So make sure you're subscribed
And you get the ding.
and hit for the notifications.
Yeah.
And I will try to be more conscious of putting it up on Instagram that we're going to go live and at what time, because it could very well change.
Yeah, it could.
It could very well change the time too.
Yeah, because
I doubt it.
Got the
I mean,
shop.
we'll still probably do
Oh yeah, we'll do it.
the
probably.
10 o'clock-ish
Yeah,
sort
10
of time.
o'clock type thing. But we have the shop, so you can always kind of do, that, and if nothing else,
Follow the shop so you
can see all the stitch markers.
got to see the new stuff.
Gotta see the new. Oh, I do. I have to go. I have to go play in the room. I have to get in there and kind of.
I'm going to put a
See.
chip in her and the room so that it will just take out of inventory whatever she takes.
I did give it away. I did give it to some people in the
Okay.
shop. There's a really, really, really nice lady, and I can't remember your name, and I'm so sorry. And she promised she was going to watch on the 17th because she's back and I'm back, and she makes the cutest. I can't say the word, but the dolls, the crochet dolls,
Aramagurumi. Yeah.
or whatever. Why don't you just call them little dolls? I have no idea, but she's made them.
Crochet the
Down
animals dolls.
Cute little things, and they all have their own favorite football. So she made green and white for the Packers.
Oh,
She was making orange and blue for the Bears, and she made gold.
purple and yellow
and
for
she had like
the Vikings.
Vikings. Yeah, they're from that area up there. Beautiful little things. I did make a little duck, but my sister has it. So because she's going to try and work on it. So I'll bring it when we do the next podcast, so you can see the little ducky that I made. Because on the Carnival cruises, we're going to hide little crochet ducks. It only took
Yeah, right.
it took me longer to get that damn eye, because you've got this little round head and you use like a 6 to get it to snap in there, because you can't get your
Right.
fingers in this thing to
You
get
should
it
have handed
on.
it to a man.
I should have.
Just
Oh, I'm serious.
like opening a pickle jar.
Yeah.
Just
Here, just do
open this for me. Would you open this?
So anyway,
I think Jamie was thinking that he was tired of opening jars for me and then as I get older, my hands get even weaker and
Oh, yeah.
weaker. So at Christmas time, he got me these silicone jar.
oh yeah, I have those at home. I need to.
Now I
remember to
just
bring one.
hand him the silicone jar thing and the jar. Just go here. Would you open this now? For
Because I
me?
don't know about you guys, but when you have your interchangeable needles, and then you have to go and switch the cord like I did
Yeah.
with this, they get pretty tight, and you can't get a good grip on the needle, even with the pin in it,
Right.
because it twists. And I keep meaning to put one of those silicone things in my bag. So instead, I just bought a pair of roach clips. And for those people who don't know what roach clips, they're called hemostats in the medical world. But the roach clips.
But you could also use them to hold the very smallest end of a marijuana joint.
Yeah, can go.
So you don't burn your fingers. You're holding on to the clip.
Yeah, man, they do that down in the island,
We used to
and
put,
they like it,
we used
and
to
they grow it.
we
And it's
used to
good shit down there, man.
we used to clip those to our hats with feathers hanging down on the back.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. And because then you could get away with it in school because then it was like jewelry or decoration or something.
Would you know, guys, in some states, if you get stopped and they look in your knitting bag and you have the scale and and a pair of hemostats, that's paraphernalia. And
Absolutely.
it can be confiscated.
Confiscated.
I can't pronounce words anymore. I think I've had a stroke.
Confiscated as drug paraphernalia.
As drug paraphernalia.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Can you believe? I'm telling you, those guys down in the island have it made. Let me tell you, they do. He went back to the Netherlands. This driver, loved the guy, Jason. He was our tour guide. He was another one. I think I'm engaged to him.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, because
their culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
He asked who was married but traveling alone, and I was the only one on the thing that was married traveling alone, because he likes married women.
Oh.
Because they don't get attached. They just go for it.
Yeah.
And then they go away. And so
right.
I was out shopping and I ran into him and he's like, "Oh, so we're here for our date." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
So that's who I ate lunch with that day.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's the one that took me to his favorite fish place. And he told me the name of it in Manito, and I don't remember it. And I went to pay. I was going to pay for lunch, and because I said, "Aren't you my kept man now?" And he goes, "First one's on me."
First one's on me.
Nicest fella, and
oh my
Jason
gosh,
was
that's
just
awesome.
adorable. He was just the sweetest, And what I do like about the islands, and I know it's not kosher or the thing, and no, I don't need a man to open the door, but I mean, they're always willing to give you a hand, and they're always willing to give you their seat and make you comfortable and be careful. They know I'm not fragile.
That's just manners. It has nothing to do with
respect.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with
right
the patriarchy or any of this bullshit. No, it's just
that's
manners.
What they do.
It's just kindness to another human being.
Even when the gentleman had trouble getting off, they went and they helped. It was just
course.
That's what they do. They didn't,
That's what you or I would
apologize if they cut you off, and they stop the cars and let you walk across the street because Gail had a walker, and and she was having trouble getting it across because they had bumps.
Yeah.
It was slanted, but
so then it's harder.
Her. One guy stopped his car and got out of his car to help her lift it over these bumps.
Oh,
I was so impressed. It was just
that's just kind people.
It's just kindness, and nobody was behind him honking and telling him to get out of the way.
We don't live in a kind society anymore. Hey, our society is not.
I don't mean to be picking on the United States. I'm very happy to be in the United States, and I'm lucky to live here and to have what I have, even though my husband's fully retired and he's still alive.
You haven't killed him yet.
Which people are very amazed that it's been a month and he's still amongst the living. In fact, he drove today. When
he did drive. He drove her here today.
He didn't want me grabbing the steering wheel because he said it may hurt. And I think he just wanted to go to Menards. He hasn't been in the Menards. There's one in Lebanon.
Yeah.
That's where he was going.
Well, had I known he was going to Menards, I would have given him a list. There's a bunch of stuff in Menards I needed.
Well,
jeez, I figured he was going to go to Lowe's.
No. He's going.
I have a Lowe's right next door to me, but they do not have natural mulch.
Oh, they don't.
No, it's all treated with colors or.
That might be why he gets his at Menards.
Menards has natural mulch.
Okay.
Like 2 cubic feet for a couple of bucks.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why.
So I want natural mulch for my garden down low and for my pots. So what is Miss Nancy saying?
Nancy's saying YouTube doesn't let me turn on notifications for your channel. Am I the only one?
I don't know. Well, Nancy, send us your thing and watch Instagram. if you're
Yeah,
on
just
Instagram. If not,
Follow us on Instagram if you're
If
on
not-
Instagram.
send a text message with your phone number. I mean, an email with your phone number, and we'll send you a text message to tell you when we're on. That's kind of service we do. Because that's what we are.
I'm letting that be
You
her
can be
job.
my responsibility. I will do that for Nancy. No problem. No problem whatsoever. So that's all I have. I'm back.
Since
and
I
we're gonna
finished
do
up that
anything?
Musselburg,
No, and now you.
I did.
How far down did you have to tweak back?
It was probably 2.5 inches
Yeah, but that's what I thought. I
of
noticed.
color work.
Yeah.
And the other color in the color work was black, so that I've already put away.
Okay.
So this will just be
Just a regular
a
hat.
regular vanilla hat.
Yeah.
I just did one round around, and about every 15 stitches I added a stitch so that the rest of the hat would be a little bigger. Because I don't know how many stitches are on here, and I wasn't about to count it. I just wanted to make sure it was big enough.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't go up a size in the needle,
Okay.
so I added stitches.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we can get back to some of that too. We can get back to a little bit more of filling you in on little tweak things we learn. I can do that because I get the all those emails and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
that's what I did on vacation. When I
Yeah,
would sit there instead, I was watching YouTube, and I was watching how some of these things are done and how the stretchy and
a stretchy cast on or
well,
bind
this
off.
one here, like this. This has the German. No, my socks
Have a German cast
have a
on.
German twist cast on.
Oh, okay.
It's really not that bad once you kind of get into it. It's
So this was something we were talking about before, while we were having breakfast.
yeah,
And I said we should stop this and talk about it on the
more.
podcast.
Yeah.
You were talking about when we all first kind of met
Yes.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and then she said something about Marcia pretty much knitting your
Oh,
whole
yeah.
sweater
Yeah.
because she would pick up a sweater, the Dirty Martini.
Right.
She would pick it up and she would start knitting on it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then it would be rows later where it was determined what
Exactly.
happened. And so then she would hand it to Marcia. Marcia would tear it out and then knit it all the way back to where she was again.
Exactly. And she got to the point where she says, if I have to do this again, we're going to have to change skeins of yarn.
Yeah, because we
it
wore
had
out the yarn.
We've worn out the yarn. And it ding, 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 something finally, I put it, even if it's on the side, I would go the wrong way with it because I couldn't read. You got to learn to read your knitting. So now
Yeah.
I can read my knitting. So it's not as bad as it was back then. And the short rows.
It's like German short rows. Yeah.
Yeah, German short rows, wrap and turns.
Yeah.
Those things are things that get confusing a little once in a while. And you get to see about it. And the funny thing is you get these videos because I watched the Magic Ring.
That was why I made my raglan stitch markers too, because I was
Yes.
doing a raglan and it had the freaking short rows. It had like 20 short rows in the back just for that little hump, your little hump in the back of your thing, just to have that shaping back there. And I kept getting confused because the pattern would say, and then knit till 4 stitches before stitch marker number 1. What stitch marker is that?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
got 4 and it's around this much.
Right.
I don't.
And it was the same thing
Yeah,
with the
it drove me
socks.
nuts.
I've watched people knit the socks. Sharon knits them at knitting, and Karen has worked on them, and Colleen when we've gotten together. I've never seen them put pins in there because she said at the last 2 stitches where you do the decrease, put a pin through the front side because this is where
But
she
this
was
is
teaching me.
just everybody's different.
But she was teaching us this is where you're going to pick up this stitch for the increase.
Yeah.
Duh. Well, that makes sense. Kind of made sense to that. But you're right. These are little kind of things that we like to share that we should share. Remember with Bat Bra?
Oh, Bat Bra.
Bat Bra?
Watch Barbara knit.
Yeah, Barbara knit.
And I texted them and I said, you really need to watch this lady. She's really, really good. And she was this one particular episode. I can't remember what it was she was talking about. I really wanted them to see. And so I texted it and my autocorrect turned it into bat bra instead of watch Barbara knit.
And I'm looking on YouTube for bat
bra.
And the stuff is coming up about bras with bats and bats with bras.
And now your algorithm is all off. You
and
get
it's
on
all
a
like-
Facebook and you got
you know, and you do it once and then you get 96 little things. Oh, and you have to see my new mug. Look. Isn't this cute? Isn't that the best? I need to take that to Starbucks.
That's from Miss Marcia.
Miss Marcia made that, and it's so cute because this thing is like,
And it has a nice little yarn ball on the other side.
yeah, but not everybody's gonna get it, you know. So that
No, only
you know,
knitters would get it. Which reminds me, like when I first moved down here when I was 10 years ago, 9 years ago, when I first moved down here, 10 years ago, I really only crocheted. I
Right.
knew how to knit and purl. I had
Right.
done it when I was really little with my grandma, but I didn't really. And so when I went into the yarn shop the first time, it was just crochet.
Yeah, she was the
I
odd
had
man
never
out.
heard of Ravelry.
No.
And Marcia was working and she printed off a pattern for me off of Ravelry, a free pattern. I probably still have it. And I got some green and yellow cotton yarn. I don't know. Yeah. And I crocheted, and for probably a couple of years.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All I would do was crochet
Right.
in the shop, and everybody thought it was like black magic.
It was. She was on the dark side.
I was on the dark side.
And then she started to knit.
Yeah.
And then
it was, I only wanted to do
She didn't
really
like to
super
purl.
simple things. I wasn't big on purling. So one of the first things I did was that wrap.
Uh-huh.
What the heck was it called? It was big.
It was big, but you did that. And then
Because I told Marcia I really didn't want to have anything complicated and
Mm.
nothing with a lot of purl.
no,
And so it was this.
even to this day, she doesn't like to purl.
I don't like to purl.
But she will do drop stitch, pick it up, cross it over.
Yeah.
Whereas I won't do that. I stayed away from yarn overs. To me, yarn overs were the scariest thing
Oh,
ever.
yeah. I don't
It made
mind
a
them.
hole in my knitting. And I was like, you can't have that. So I was picking up the yarn over and the stitch below the yarn over, so I didn't have a hole,
Oh,
even though the hole was in the pattern.
the hole is the purpose of the yarn over.
But I didn't figure that out. I was like, what the hell? I stayed, if it had a yarn over in the pattern, out, done, not doing it, you know?
Well, I just went around this and I picked up stitches instead of like make one, because I didn't want holes.
Yeah.
So at any rate, what happened was I told Marcia, my new knitting teacher, who was just the employee at the yarn shop, I told her the next knitting pattern that you give me, you can only increase my skill by 1 on each one. So it would be, okay, so then we can do a pattern that has knit stitches, knit front and back, and a yarn over now.
Right.
So that's what she did for
And
the
Maya
longest
found
time.
it.
Each time it was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, now I can give her this.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can give her this.
Now I can give her that.
Now I'm like, okay, whatever. I still haven't tried brioche.
No,
I've done cables, and y'all haven't done cables.
no, I don't like cables. I stay away from cables.
Have you done them?
Yes. I can't.
Well,
do
like
them.
Karen won't even do a cable,
No, but every time I find a pattern that doesn't
but she won't pick
happen-
up stitches either.
No, Marsha picks them up. Which after doing
So of course,
my
you know,
side-
we love people we make fun of,
yes, we do. We love everybody anyway. We're really
We
pretty
do.
okay.
but Karen is definitely one that we
Yeah.
absolutely love. I love her dearly, and and I will make fun of her relentlessly about not picking up stitches.
Yes, I
until
will
she
too.
learns how to pick up stitches.
I know. She's like, oh, I could never do that. And I'm like, you make socks. I can't even make socks. Come on, give me a break, you know?
I could.
And then I was
know I
reading-
could make socks. I just
I was
like
reading-
the little teeny tiny things.
She's like,
hurts my
now
hands.
that you have this point, you go do this and you cast on and you pick up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not computing. Put it away because I won't finish it before I get the surgery. So forget it. We're just not going that route. And who knows? That might be where they end up. And if
No,
not, I'll turn it into a
no,
mitten.
you're good. No,
Because the nice thing about this is I could pick up and put in, see, because this is like the top of the mitten. Ha! See, look,
no,
there.
you're gonna finish those as socks.
I'm going to finish them as socks.
You,
They may be framed, but I love my socks. Actually, I carried
Yeah.
the ones. I carried yours around. I said,
you could wear the socks as mittens.
yeah, you can. Yeah, just don't have,
Thumbs. They're baby
but
mittens.
They're baby mittens. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I could make. I could make some baby mittens. That would be kind of fun. Make some baby stuff. Actually, I was thinking maybe over the next 6 weeks, I should probably clean up my sewing room.
I have to apologize. Last week we said we were going to post a picture of Colleen's blanket on Instagram, and
We haven't done
I
it.
have to admit we totally forgot after the podcast to lay it back out again and take a photo. But
it's
it is
quite
fantastic.
That thing is beautiful. Every time I see it, every time I see her working on it, in my head, I'm like, I got to do one. I got to start one. But I know I'm going to be exactly like her. I would get into that.
And that would be the only
and that
thing.
would be the only thing I would do.
Yeah.
Even the duck, which was a lot of counting because
but-
you do a lot of
But
increase.
it's
But it
small,
was so much fun.
and it's small enough that you can see the end.
Oh, and taking out.
Yeah.
It's so easy to redo it. I love
Yeah.
crochet for that. So
Yeah.
I need to do more stuff when it comes to that sort of thing. So
Well, if you want to do some granny squares, you can feel accomplished.
I want to do a granny square sweater. And I think I may have to kind of do that. And I may take and put some of my stuff in bags and just do the leftover stuff in the center 2 or 3 rounds. And then do the second 2 rounds. I think there are 5 rounds altogether. Do 3 with the leftover yarn and then 1 main color, like pick a beige or whatever, and do the last 2 rounds so that it's a combination of everything that I've done, but yet is a whole new prospect. And I could go, well, this part is the part when I fell off the chair, and this part over here is when I
See,
my
I
sister
just
in the head.
I just am like mine with the squares that I'm doing. I'm just if I feel like doing 3 different colors in that square, I do. If I only want to do 1 color in that square, I do. So my jacket will be funky looking. And I think I'm going to do a big square for the back. And I might do like a mandala
Yes. Yeah.
square in the back where it's not like a traditional granny
Right.
square. It might be
My front is going to be separate squares, and my back is going to be kind of one
one big
big
one.
square. And the
Are you going to do the
sleeves-
one big square though as a granny square? Or are you going to do it differently?
I don't know. I might have to do elongated, or I might do one of those that has. It's a granny square, but it goes. You do that long center piece, and then it's more like it looks like an oval at first, and then it goes. It's a rectangle granny square that goes like this.
Okay.
So you
yeah.
have the length for the sweater from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
I have the actual pattern. It's at home. Somebody actually gave me a tip on that because I just think they're beautiful. I really do. I just think they're just something that's really cool. And then what you do is you take that and you get a shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, and you just stitch it, tack it to the long sleeve t-shirt, and then you have like a real jacket and a real sweater, so it
Yeah.
stays warm. Or you can put it over a sweatshirt if you want it heavier.
Yeah.
So that's what I plan to do. And on that note,
Well, I might do the center of mine in a square mandala.
oh, and I think I told
Which-
you guys,
Is like that sort of thing.
yeah.
But then end up making it square
Oh, nice.
on the back
On the back. That would be beautiful.
with all the colors that
Yeah,
I'm using for all the other.
that. That'd be beautiful. Yeah, that would be a nice change. I mean, because they're going to see you coming with this cute sweater with the granny square,
Right.
and then they're going to turn around. Did you see that? Look at the back.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that would
And maybe
just be
some little ones around the cuffs
cuff
or something.
Yeah, so cute.
But the rest of them are completely random. Some of them are like 4 different colors. Some
Yeah.
of them are 2 different colors. Some of them are a solid color.
Huh.
And they're all edged in black.
Huh.
So I probably will be working. That will maybe what I work on this summer.
Yeah.
Because
That'd be a
they're
good summer.
little.
It's lightweight. You can do it outside in the heat. I mean, if it's warm
And
you're
they're
not-
little. It's not going to be
right,
covering
it's
up.
not going to be covering up. And acrylic is easy. Well, mine
this
is going to
isn't-
be. Well, I'm using. If I do a yarn, I'm going to use acrylic on my first one,
Yeah.
and you can do that outside pretty easily. So I think I'm going to
Well.
do that. You never know. Maybe I'll start.
I
it
bought
now.
out the shepherd's wool from the yarn shop when they were 40% off. So I just bought all the colors. I bought them out. I bought them out. I think I spent like $250 and I just bought all that was left.
Yeah, you did. Knowing, yeah, I remember that. Oh, this goes on Stephen West. These tip huggers, nobody had ever heard of them on the ship. There were 6 knitters, 4 crocheters on this thing. And the knitters had never heard of these. So I gave most of mine away.
I know
Okay.
where you can get more.
I know. I said, don't worry. She's like, oh, here, did you have to get those? I have a contact.
Yeah, I got a supplier. Don't worry. I'm supplied.
I supplied.
Well supplied.
And then I whipped out the business card and she's
Mhm.
like, well, thank you. So away we went. So I think maybe next week we'll probably be here.
Yeah, we'll probably be here next week because
next
you're
week,
here.
because I'm still here. And then maybe we can kind of think about it. You guys can think about it too. So send us an email, which is
Do you just want to
Flockaroundthetable,
hear about our bullshit for the week? Like what we haven't been doing?
or you
Like
want
we haven't
something
been
else?
knitting on anything?
Yeah, or
Or
do you want us to start doing something else? And if there's something else you want to see, we can do it together.
not brioche.
And not brioche.
There's other podcasters for that.
Yeah. So maybe,
There's other people who can talk about brioche.
yeah, that's true. There is. So happy St. Patrick's Day. Everybody get out there and have their corned beef and what do you eat with it?
Cabbage?
Is that it? Corned
Corned
beef
beef
and
and
cabbage.
cabbage?
And green beer.
No,
Because-
just have a Guinness. Don't do the green beer.
Guinness is strong.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. It's only 4.2% alcohol.
I don't care. It's strong. It's got taste.
Mm.
And you can tell it's in everything in Ireland.
It's not strong.
You okay there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait.
I just need one of
I have
these.
to use
Yeah.
my other hand.
Yeah. I'm like, don't hurt yourself. Good grief.
Oh, I should say, I'm going to have her post the video. No, get on Instagram. I'm going to tell her to put the video. We did an airboat ride. And I want you to post that video.
Okay.
And all you'll see is it going past super fast. And that'll be the explanation. Only you guys will know what it means. Okay? Because I'll tell her to do it. It was so fun.
I
And
think I
some
can.
guy got bit by a crocodile the same day we were there. He fell out of his boat and he was swimming to shore. And some crocodile bit him.
I think I can do it right now. You've already
Maybe
sent
she'll
it
do
to
it.
us,
So
right?
anyway,
You sent it to us.
I sent it to you. I sent it to you guys because I wanted to share. I figured they could knock it off their bucket list and not have to actually go do it. We didn't see any alligators at Alligator Park.
That's not it.
No, whatever. There's plenty
I'll
of
find it. I'll
She'll
put it
find
up.
it, but I'll have her post it. So in the meantime, have a good week. Springs this week.
Oh, this is it. I found it. This is it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. And
You
it
guys
was
will-
loud.
I'm not putting anything on it.
Nothing on it. Just the ride. He was
Um,
afraid.
No,
No telling.
no
anything.
tags, no nothing, no telling of anything.
just
Just
show
go,
up.
just go look.
Go look at it on Instagram. So we'll see you guys next week. Springs this week.
Springs.
Yeah, we actually become spring this week.
Oh yeah, we already sprung forward.
Well, yeah, we do that before we actually. But I forgot on the ship. But is it forward or back?
We spring forward, we fall back.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
No, we spring forward.
No wonder we got up early. I got in trouble for that too because I said it forward. I said it back instead of forward.
What are you setting your?
Oh, because you change time zones when you're on a cruise ship.
But your phone is going to change the time zones.
It doesn't because we're on satellite, not on internet. So you have to manually change it a lot of times to get it on ship time. So you're better off manually changing it. And anyway, so we changed it. We moved it forward, but then because we'd have to move it back and then move it forward again, I moved it back, spring back, fall ahead. And I went the wrong way.
But on the ship, wherever you were, you might not have been on daylight savings time, so you may not have sprung forward. That's just only in daylight savings time
Again,
area of the world.
right. But I got us up at 6 o'clock and we docked at I got us up at 5 o'clock and we didn't dock until 6:15. And we were up at 5, and I had her at breakfast before we were even at the dock. And I got a little.
Whatever.
I went the wrong way.
So she had some extra time.
That's what I said. And then, of course, there was so much traffic in the air because of spring break, which I don't understand. You knew you were having 1,000 planes come in because they add planes, right? And then they slow everything down. So they make all these delays. We were supposed to leave at 4. We didn't leave until 8:30. I'm like, what the hell? Because of traffic. I said, it's not like somebody just decided today and go out and say, American said, hey, let's fly 62 more flights today and gum up the works. They all know that they're coming in. They all know what's being scheduled. How can you tell me that there's traffic? It was beyond stupid. I didn't get it. Nobody explained it correctly. I was not a happy camper, let me tell you. It was like, I don't get it. It's because of traffic. What'd they do? Put more planes in the air?
What the hell do the cars on the road have to do with the planes in the air?
That was my thing. And it's not like somebody Boeing or Airbus said, hey, let's go fly 67 more planes in the same route and land them all in Fort Lauderdale just for the hell of it.
Not using the freeway system as a takeoff or landing strip. What the
I know.
hell?
I mean, I get it. It's beyond crazy, And
See
if you're going to Florida, I want you guys to all remember to take Florida tours. This group of people is amazing. The tour was good, but my sister dropped her phone in the bus and they turned around and came back.
Nice.
And they were going to leave it with Lost and Found in Fort Lauderdale so that they could let us know. They would announce that it was there. They were going to do that for her. Nice people, amazing. Florida tours, the best. So,
okay.
And on that note, we are out of here.
I was going to say,
sorry
on that
I
note,
babbled so much today, but
that's okay. You've had your mouth clamped shut for a while.
Yeah, and I've been sleeping a lot, not paying any attention. And Mikey hides because he doesn't want to be around me either. When I go, he's like, "You okay down there?" He doesn't even come down. I'm telling you.
Well, speaking of Mikey, he's going to be here any minute to pick you up.
Oh, that's true. He is.
It's not a touchscreen.
Oh, shit. I forgot all about that. Bye, guys. Love you.